Okay, today we're looking at writing an essay at B1 plus level. B1 plus means that you have taken the PET exam and you're now moving towards the first certificate. The first certificate, you're expected to write an essay. There are two pieces of writing that you have to do, and one of them is always going to be an essay. It is compulsory. It is obligatory that you write the essay. You must learn how to write an essay, and so that's why we're looking at this tutorial today. The first thing you need to know is that an essay will be a piece of writing which is for a teacher, and as a result, your writing should be serious in tone, should be polite and formal. Okay, so we're going to be looking at writing an essay. We're going to look, first of all, at a question, and then we're going to look at somebody who has tried to answer that question, and we're going to analyze some of the points. We're going to analyze this example of how to write an essay so that you can follow a similar technique, similar style to writing your essays. And then right at the end, I'm going to give you some language that you can write, that you can use when you are writing an essay. So let's get started. Let's first of all have a look at a typical question for the first schools, an essay question. So this is the question. Some people say that it is better to live in the city, and some people say it is better to live in a village. What's your opinion? In the first certificate, they will also ask you to write about three things. They'll ask you to write, and here in this example, write about your social life, the environment, quality of life. Write your essay in 140 to 190 words. Okay, when you see a first school question, it's very important that you read it a couple of times. You read, reread, and then underline the key words. And so the key words that we're going to underline here is this. Some people say that it is better to live in the city, and some people say it is better to live in a village. This is the subject that you're going to be talking about. You're going to be talking about whether we should live in a city or whether we think it's better to live in a village. And we have to give our opinion. That's the subject. Then you have content points that you must talk about. That's the subject, but the content points that you have to include is you have to talk about your social life, you have to talk about the environment, and you have to talk about the quality of life when answering this question, when talking about the subject of if it is better to live in the city or better to live in a village. You must include these three content points. And then the last key point is, of course, that you are writing an essay. You're writing for a teacher, and so you're going to write formally and seriously and respectfully. Okay, so this is the question. We're now going to look at somebody who has tried to answer this question. Many people enjoy living in a big city because they think life is more exciting there. However, I come from a small village, and in my view, the best things about living in a small place is the peace, the countryside, and my friends. The main advantage to village life is that it's very quiet, so I always feel calm when I'm here. When I wake up in the morning, the only thing I can hear is birds singing. As a result, I often feel very relaxed. In addition, I think the area where I live is very beautiful. There are clean rivers and beautiful mountains. This means that the air is clean and fresh. This is very important for your health. Another reason is that the people here are friendlier too. Everyone in my village knows me, and if I ever need any help, I know I can count on them. As a consequence, people feel very supported in the community. On balance, I disagree that city life is better, as I think my village lifestyle is healthier and more relaxing. So we'll just go back to the question. And you can see that this person has talked about whether it's better to live in a city and whether it's better to live in a village. And they have also included the three content points. They talked about social life. Won't underline for some reason. It's talked about social life, talked about the environment, and it's also talked about the quality of life. So this person has included the subject, they've talked about the subject that they were supposed to talk about, which is this: better to live in the city or better to live in a village. And they've also included the 3 topic points, the 3 content points, talking about the social life, talking about the environment, and talking about the quality of life. And they've written an essay showing in a formal style and a serious style, as though talking to a teacher. So this person has answered the question well. And now we're going to look at some of the techniques that this person has used. We're going to analyze this essay so that you can use a similar structure or some similar techniques in your writing. So the first point that I want to talk about is this first sentence. Many people enjoy living in a big city because they think life is more exciting there. This is known as a general statement. In an introduction, it's a very good idea to start with a general statement. A general statement is a statement which is generally true. Many people enjoy living in a city. This is generally true. Not everybody, but many people do. They think that life is more exciting there. Fine. This is a general statement which is generally true, and it introduces the topic of the whole essay. I should point out that this is your introduction. We're going to analyze the introduction. Then we're going to talk about the main paragraphs. When we talk about the main paragraphs, we mean this paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. These are the main paragraphs. So this is our introduction. These are our 3 main paragraphs. And then finally, we have a conclusion. So in the introduction, it's a very good idea to have a general statement which introduces the subject of the essay, and it's a statement which is generally true. The next sentence in our introduction is also a very important sentence, and this, because it's so important, it has a name. The purpose of this sentence is to tell you the subject of the essay in general, and also to tell you the order of the paragraphs. And so this sentence is very important. It indicates the direction of the whole essay, and it's referred to as the signpost sentence. The signpost sentence introduces the subject. So we're talking about coming from a small village, and it's going to talk about, it tells us that in my essay, I'm going to talk about 3 things: the peace, the countryside, and my friends. And it also tells you that we're going to talk about this in a specific order. So the first thing that I talk about in my first paragraph is how peaceful the area is. It's very quiet. The second thing I talk about is the countryside. The countryside is an area which is very beautiful. And then the third thing it's going to talk about is my friends, or my social life. So this signpost sentence tells the reader the order of the main paragraphs. It tells you that the first paragraph is going to talk about peace, the second paragraph is going to talk about countryside, and the third paragraph is going to talk about my friends. This signpost sentence is not easy to write. You can only write a signpost sentence if you know what the structure of your main paragraphs is going to be. You can only write a sentence like this in the introduction once you have planned and once you have thought about what you're going to write about in your first main paragraph, your second main paragraph, and your third main paragraph. Being able to write a signpost sentence shows that you have planned your work, and you know what you're going to talk about. It's not easy to do, but if you can do this, your writing starts to look very well organized and very well structured. Okay, so we had a general statement, the first sentence, which introduced generally the topic of the essay. We have a signpost sentence, which now indicates the order of the essay, the main paragraphs of the essay. The next, okay, this is a summary of what a signpost sentence does. It tells you the subject of the essay, and it also tells you the order of the main paragraphs, just as we saw just there, the order of the main paragraphs: peace, the countryside, and my friends. Okay, the next, we're now starting to look at the main paragraphs, and each of the main paragraphs is following a very simple formula. The first sentence is a topic sentence. This topic sentence introduces the subject of the paragraph. And it says the main advantage to village life is it's very quiet. And that is introducing the fact that the whole of this paragraph is talking about how it's a quiet place to live. When I wake up in the morning, the only thing I can hear is birds singing. As a result, I often feel relaxed. So this sentence is the main advantage to village life is that it's quiet. This sentence is telling you that the topic of this paragraph is how quiet it is to live in a village. We have another topic sentence in the second paragraph, and it's this one. In addition, I think the area where I live is beautiful. And this is telling you that you are now talking about how beautiful the environment is. There are clean rivers and beautiful mountains. The air is clean and fresh. And so this sentence is introducing the topic of the main paragraph. It tells the reader what the paragraph is going to be talking about. We have another example, the final topic sentence for the final paragraph, the final main paragraph. Another reason is that people here are friendlier too. And this tells us now that in this paragraph, we're going to be talking about people and friends, our social life. So in each of the main paragraphs, the first sentence is a topic sentence which introduces the subject of that paragraph. Let's have a look at a summary of topic sentences. Well, actually, we're going to look at, remember we said that the topic sentence was the first line of the main paragraphs. Let's look particularly at these two topic sentences because they are a very good example of how to write a topic sentence. A topic sentence in general, these are the examples that we've just taken, we've just looked at. A topic sentence will be the first sentence in each main paragraph. You remember, you go back to, you can see the topic sentence is the first sentence of the main paragraphs. The topic sentence introduces the subject of each of the paragraphs. A topic sentence should be short and it should be simple. A topic sentence will very often start with a linking word or a linking expression. So for example, this is a linking word. Starts with a linking word, in addition, or a linking expression. Another reason is that. So, first sentence in each of the main paragraphs, introduce the subject of the whole paragraph, try to keep it short, try to keep it simple, and then also try to start with a linking word. The last thing which you need to consider is, yes, a topic sentence introduces the subject of the main paragraph, but try not to use this structure. Now I'm going to talk about. We don't use this structure, I'm going to talk about. We don't use that any longer. When we're in primary school, sometimes we wrote that for our teachers. Now I'm going to write about my summer holidays. Now that we're in the secondary school, we're not really using that structure. So do be careful. Don't do that when you are writing a topic sentence in your main paragraphs. Let's continue. What else have we got to see so we've looked at the introduction, the general statement, the signpost sentence, and then we've looked at a topic sentence as the first sentence in each of your main paragraphs. Now we're going to look at something which is common for all of the main paragraphs. All three of your main paragraphs are following the same structure. We have a sentence. When I wake up in the morning, the only thing I can hear is birds singing. This is our idea. And then, as a result, I often feel very relaxed. As a result of what? As a result of hearing birds singing. And this structure is very simple and very effective at making your writing clear. We have an idea, and then we extend the idea. And you can see that the next paragraph follows the same structure. There are clean rivers and beautiful mountains. This is our idea. And now we have an extension. This means that the air is clean and fresh. And then we have a further extension. This is important for your health. So this is one idea which has been extended twice. And the next paragraph follows exactly the same structure. We have our idea, everyone in the village knows me, and then we have our extension. If I ever need help, I know I can count on them. And we have it extended even further. As a consequence, I feel supported in my community. And so in all three paragraphs, we have the same structure. We have idea and extension, idea, extension, idea, extension, idea, extension. And there are three main ways that you can extend your idea. You can extend your idea with a result. When I wake up in the morning, I can hear birds singing. As a result, I feel very relaxed. You can also add a reason, or you can also add an example. This is a very simple structure, and it makes your writing a lot easier. When you're writing an idea, how many ideas do you have in each of these paragraphs? You've only got one idea per paragraph. The last point is that we have, right down here, this is our conclusion. And the conclusion is, on balance, I disagree that city life is better. I think that my village lifestyle is healthier and more exciting. And what this person is doing is they're concluding, and they are making reference to points which they have made earlier in the essay. It's healthier, the rivers are clean, I feel very relaxed, and it's more relaxing, I feel more relaxed, and I feel supported. So this is a conclusion. It refers back to what you have said earlier in the essay. Do not introduce new ideas in your conclusion. It is a very bad idea to suddenly add something else. If you suddenly add something in the last sentence, it means that you haven't planned very well. Your conclusion should not introduce new ideas. Okay, let's review what we've been looking at. An essay should have a general statement which generally introduces the subject of the essay. You should try and write a signpost sentence which tells you the order of the main paragraphs. Peace is talked about in the first paragraph, countryside is talked about in the second paragraph, and friends is talked about in the third paragraph. So the signpost sentence tells you the subject of the essay, and it also tells you the order of the paragraphs. Try to include topic sentences. I think I've jumped forward. Try to include topic sentences. Topic sentences, the first sentence of the paragraphs, which introduce the subject of the main paragraph. The topic sentence introduces the topic of the main paragraphs. And we looked earlier at the elements, we looked at how to make a topic sentence, that it should be short, simple, the first line, it should have a linking word, etc. And then once you've written your topic sentence, we follow this same structure. We include an idea, and then we extend the idea, either with a reason, a result, or an example. And then the final point was our conclusion. Try to refer back to what you've talked about in your essay and try not to include any new ideas. So that's the structure of an essay. Let's now look at some language that you can use when you're writing an essay. This is some nice language which can be written in any of the essays that you're doing. Things like however, nice formal language, in my view, nice formal language, formal and appropriate for writing to your teacher. The main advantage, so, as a result, in addition, this means, another reason is that, to, as a consequence, on balance. This is some nice language that you can use in your essay that you are going to write. And so, for example, we can give reasons and results by using language like this. We can talk about The main advantage to village life is that it's quiet. So this is introducing a reason and a result. Another reason is that. Again, this is introducing a reason or a result. Adding more points, we can use to. We can use in addition when you want to add another point. You can use also. It's a small word, but you can use also to include other ideas. It's very important that we're doing this, linking our ideas together. To give opinions, we can use expressions like in my view. We have this up at the top, in my view. We can also use personally. We can say in my opinion. To contrast opinions, this is when you're saying a different idea, we can use expressions like however, or but, or in spite of that. Nice expressions. And then to summarize, this is right at the end, you can use expressions like on balance, or in conclusion, or in summary. So this is some nice language that you can use to include in your essay when you are trying to write for your teacher on your subject. Okay, I think we've shown a structure that you can try to follow, and we've shown some language that you can try and use when you're writing your essay. The next thing is for you to actually try and do it yourself. So thank you very much for listening, and good luck with writing your essays for B1+ and B2. Thank you.